Tattooing, it's blood, it's pain, it's permanence. You can't just call it in.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to East to West Podcast with yours truly, Horisumi. Now, as you might have seen, I just got back from Japan from attending the Sanja Matsuri 2023. It's my first time back since 2019. Yeah, 2019 was the last time I was there, and then for 20, 21, 22, they didn't really have a proper Sanja. They mostly had locals only because nobody could go into Japan. They had like photos and stuff with the Makoshi and maybe a little bit of eating, but no actual, holding the Makoshi and parading it around because of social distancing and COVID rules. So this year was the first year where everybody was back in full swing. All the Makoshi were riding around, and it was a big party. It was great. So what's a Makoshi, right? Well, let's start with what's Sanja. Where is Sanja? I'm not going to get into the specifics. I'm not going to talk about who the guys with the tattoos are. I'm not going to give you the fucking inside scoop on too much stuff because I have been privileged enough to be invited in and to participate. So it's not for me to tell you about it. But I'll give you the basic stuff, okay? I'll tell you what I can, all right? So Sanja Matsuri is a festival that is in celebration of the three men who founded the Sensoji Temple, which is the big temple in the middle of Asakusa. This temple was founded in 1645 is when it was built, but it started off in 628. In 628, some fishermen allegedly were fishing, and they found a statue of the Bodhisattva Kannon, the Buddhist deity. And they found the statue in the water, and they threw it back in, and they kept finding it over and over again. So they built a temple on the grounds in honor of Kannon. And these three men were the ones who built the temple. And so it was completed in 645 AD. So it is Tokyo's oldest temple, and it's a Buddhist temple. Now, Asakusa is sort of the old Edo, old part of Japan. So when you see like the woodblock prints of the floating world, like what they call the Yoshiwara district, the red light district, old Edo, that's all in the Asakusa area. So you still have all the old sort of street stalls and markets and all that kind of stuff and the temples. That's that whole area there, which is Asakusa, right? So the temple, Sensoji Temple, is in the middle of that, right? The other name for that temple is the Asakusa Kannon Temple, right? So Sanja celebrates the founding of the temple. It's also called the Three Shrines Festival because there's three Makoshi. The Makoshi are like a portable shrine. So it's a Shinto shrine where they put Shinto, how do I say it? They put Shinto deities, also known as kami, inside the shrines and parade them around all the different neighborhoods. So all the different groups, you'll see they'll be wearing different hantens, different jackets with different logos, different colors, different crests. They all represent a different neighborhood. I believe there's 44 districts in the Asakusa area that participate in the Sanja. And so they all get a turn with the three big Makoshi. Now there's 100 Makoshis in total. Small ones, you can see some pictures of Makoshis here and the pictures of the temple, right? And so it's basically a wooden portable shrine. The big ones, the three big ones, weigh a couple of tons each. They're quite heavy, solid wood, metal. They've got bells and jingles on them and stuff. So the whole point is when these deities are put inside is the neighborhood people, the locals, and people like myself that are allowed to participate, get to shake it, right? So you carry it, you're doing a particular foot movement, particular chants, you get the whistles going, and you shake it around. The more you shake it, the more you move it, the more sound it makes, and the more good luck you bring to the neighborhood. So you might take it around to the local, you take it to a local temple, local businesses, stuff like this, and it's good luck, right? So this happens on the Saturday and the Sunday. You also have kids Makoshi, so little Makoshis, and you'll see little kids parading through the streets with their parents helping them, which is super cute. You've got women's Makoshi, which are a little bit lighter, with only female participants. So it's pretty cool, right? And So you start off on Saturday, everyone gets their turn, they go a block. Usually you'll go like a block, you'll stop, you'll put it down, you have a little chat, right? And then you'll lift it up again. If you go into some place that's really important, like say the boss's house, you might lift it up over your head, and then everyone walks in a big circle, and it's a big sign of respect and reverence to do that. Because like I said, it's pretty fucking heavy. And it's not unheard of for it to fall and crush people. This does happen. I've seen it. So it's pretty intense in the crowd. When it's moving, maybe you've got like 50 people under it, and it's moving, and like it has to keep moving because you got all these people. You got people at the front and the back with the fans and the whistles and the directing. You got people on the outside pushing. So it's a pretty intense scene when you're up close to it and you're involved. I've been under it a few times. I'm a little bit tall, so it's hard for me to be under it too long because my legs are quite splayed out, and I end up, people get caught up on my legs, or I get caught up. And if you fall under the Mikoshi, there's a good chance you're going to get pretty hurt. So I do participate in it, but it's pretty low. I can't be under it all the time like some of these guys that have what they call the big tacos on their shoulders. I'll see if I can find a photo to put into the video here where they have looks like a baseball or a softball on each shoulder from lifting it so much with their shoulders, right? It's a pretty cool environment. Like anyone can come and watch this. I get asked all the time, "Hey man, can I come and can you bring me in?" And I was like, I can't, so please, with all respect, don't message me asking to come and meet everybody and all that kind of stuff. If you know where it is and you want to make your own way, by all means, but I can't be bringing people all the time and stuff because it's just not how it works there, right? I'm not gatekeeping or anything. It's just not my place. I'm a guest, right? And, as much as the Japanese, and I don't want to speak for Japanese, but as much as the Japanese like foreigners, it's also a locals festival, right? They don't want it to be inundated with locals participating so much. Happy to come watch, be a tourist, and all that kind of stuff. And there's guys that show up and start pulling their shirts off in the streets and stuff. And, tattoos in Japan are still taboo. All these guys you see in these pictures and videos, you'll never see their tattoos any other time of the year. They all wear long sleeve, they all wear button-up shirts. You might see them in the Sento, like the sauna or something like that, but you won't see them in the street. So tattoos are still very, very low key, right? So when I go to Japan, normally I'm wearing long sleeves all the time. I try to cover up. But on that day, on that weekend, everyone in that underworld gets their kit off, puts on the fundoshi, which is like the little, loincloth kind of thing, and shows off their work. And the cops fucking hate it, right? So when we were there last trip, just a couple weeks ago, we were in our neighborhood, or their neighborhood, and I was participating. The 3 busloads of cops were there, surrounding everybody, surrounding us, and they video everything. They got guys on cherry pickers videoing. They're looking for people to misstep so they can give them a ticket, because if you do misstep, it is quite a big fine. You can go to jail for stuff like that. You can't have your tattoo showing in front of the temple on the temple grounds. So when we do the Mikoshi around the neighborhoods, you can have your jacket off and show your tattoos. You can have your jacket off and show your tattoos walking the streets. But when you're parading around the temple itself, you have to have your jacket on. You'll notice in some of the videos and pictures, when the Mikoshi is stationary, so it's on blocks, and you've got the guys on top, the tattooed gentlemen on top, and they're talking and they're posing and they're giving speeches. They're standing on it. But as soon as the Mikoshi is picked up, by law, they have to jump off. And sometimes you'll see them surf for 30 seconds or something like that, which is illegal, and you can go to jail for it. So they do take a little bit of risks with stuff like that. So yeah, but that's what Sanja Matsuri is. It's not a tattoo festival. The majority of people participating in Sanja don't have tattoos. The majority of people going to the festival have nothing to do with tattoos. It's just certain specific neighborhoods of tattooed fans that participate, right? And that's why I say it's not a tattoo festival, right? Like I said, I get asked all the time. Everyone wants to come, everyone wants to participate, everyone wants to join in. But it's not about tattooing. It's about the locals who happen to have tattoos on that day can show them off. So if that kind of makes sense to you, right? But by all means, come to Japan, check it out, see it for yourself. There's a lot of stuff to do in Asakusa besides Sanja. There's great shopping, great eating. Asakusa is great all year round. On that weekend, there's lots of cool stuff to see. There's drummers, there's musicians, there's little kiosks and stalls and food and little festival games and all that kind of stuff. So, but the basics of Sanja Matsuri is it's a Buddhist celebration using some Shinto stuff. So you'll see, like with the Mikoshi, they'll parade in front of the Buddhist monks in front of the temple, but then they'll also go to the Shinto temple, which is next door, and also parade in front of them. So I don't fully understand it, because obviously I'm not Japanese and I'm not fully versed in all that, but my rudimentary understanding of it is that it's a mix of a Buddhist and a Shinto religious festival, right? That's the gist that I have of it, right? And yeah, so that's it, man. And the tattoo thing, well, cool, and is, I like to go and participate, and I get in my little fundoshi and I walk the streets. And I have in the past brought people to it, and that was okay, but I won't be bringing people again because I brought my kids this year, and the Japanese that I associate with, they're big family people, and it's more about family. It's not about, bringing your client with the best bodysuit and all that kind of stuff. It's more for locals to show off their tattoo work to their friends. It's not about, me or a foreigner or someone else. They don't really care, if we're being honest, about outside work. They care about their tattoo work and their stuff, right? So yeah, there's that, right? So I hope that answers a few questions about Sanja. It's been hard for me to figure out how to do this podcast and what to say and what not to say. But I hope I've covered all the bases. If you have anything that I haven't covered and you're curious about, drop me a comment or a DM, and I'll do the best I can to fill it in for you. But at the end of the day, it's a good time, it's a good party, and it's meant to be lighthearted and stuff. But please don't come and start pulling your clothes off in the middle of the street and trying to show the Japanese guys your tattoos, because they don't fucking care. They don't care about my bodysuit. They don't care about any foreigner's bodysuit. They care about the bodysuits of their friends and the artists that they go to and stuff like that. Right? It's a very, very different culture. And I'm still, as much as I've been going there now, I've been going to Sanja for, I think, 7 years now, minus the COVID years. So 7 years old. And I'm still trying to figure it all out. Right? I'm still trying to figure out the dynamics of it all and stuff like that. It's, I don't speak Japanese very well or at all, so I'm learning. But every year I go, I learn more, and I get a better understanding of the situation. And as I learn more, I'll share more with you guys what I can. Okay? So that's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you go through my feed, you'll see some videos on my Instagram and some photos of the guys. Big thanks to Asakusa Horikazu for hosting me and letting me participate. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.